CBS 4's ABRIL PRECIADO has a look at what South Padre Island is doing to make sure they're ready for the storm.
Brian, we are just a few days into hurricane season. I stopped by South Padre Island this morning where city officials are checking off their list off of the items to make sure they're prepared for the storm. It's a story you'll only see on 4. As the heat of the summer hits the Rio Grande Valley, many make their way to the beach to spend their day under the sun. And with hurricane season just a few days in, the city of South Padre Island has already begun to implement new strategies for the safety of residents and island goers.
Lots of folks have seen the vessel that's going back and forth from the Brownsville Island ship channel to the out in front of the city's beaches. That vessel is actually transporting over 500,000 cubic yards of sand to what's called a nearshore berm, which is basically, think of it like a really big sandbar. So they're creating an additional sandbar off of our coast.
According to Shoreline Director Brandon Hill, that shoreline berm will help nourish the beach, where the sand will help widen it. He explains that the berm will act like a wave defense that will help absorb energy from any potential storms the island may have. Now, the city's not only adding additional sand onto the beach, but also trackers within it to find out what happens to the shoreline if a storm were to hit.
Not only are we placing sand where it's going to protect us from a storm, it also really paints a picture of what happens to our shoreline when we do experience a storm surge. Which
is all part of a $630,000 study that the city has just approved and will only have to pay 40% of the cost. Fire Chief Doug FOWLER also monitors the weather every day to see if anything else is developing.
Always monitoring the weather. We have plans, checklists for us in order to be prepared if we have a threat coming our way.
The city of South Padre Island will be hosting a meeting on June 19 where they will be providing information on how to prepare for this hurricane season. In the newsroom with complete Valley coverage, ABRIL PRECIADO, CBS 4 Valley at 6.